Hi, and welcome to the Virtually Yours podcast, Outsourcing Mysteries Exposed, the no BS hustle-free podcast for business owners who outsource or provide outsourcing services. I'm your host, Rosie Shiloh, virtual assistant advocate and owner of Virtually Yours, the Virtual Assistant Network. Let's get started.
Got it.
Hey everyone. Welcome to our latest episode of Outsourcing. I don't know what it's called. What's it called, Natalie? It's Outsourcing Mysteries Exposed. And this is the Imposter series. So, really, we should stuff it up as much as we can because it's going to make people feel better about themselves. It's kind of a community service. Yeah. So I've got Natalie here with me, Tolhopf. Have I pronounced it right?
Done.
Boom. Who is here all the way from New Zealand.
Awesome chops.
Yeah, across the shore. And who is going to be having a chat to me. And I asked her to come along because her business is all about taking imperfect action. And people who have got imposter syndrome are always, they're having an issue with that. So I think with the steps that Natalie encourages people to take, I think is one of the really, really good strategies that people can kind of implement moving forward. And is a different approach again to the other people that we've had on here. So welcome, Natalie.
Oh, what a beautiful, perfect intro for today's series. Like, Rosie, seriously, that was bloody well done. I think that's great. And actually, it's what I love about you. You've got a huge amount of, and this is a positive thing, a huge amount of imperfectness with you, but you do it with such confidence that you just allow so many other people just to show up, so I just appreciate the intro so much.
Oh, thank you I love that. I've got a lot of perfect imperfectness. It is so true because I've embraced that over the years, is the fact that I learn from everything I stuff up. And also people relate more to you if you're not a robot and you're not perfect all the time. So, it's a much nicer space to sort of live in. So what brought you to, talking to people about this sort of thing in your business? What brought you there?
Such a good question. And now tell me to shut up if I go too long or go on.
Cool. I'll yell it really loud if you go too long.
So I'm a chef by trade, which is ironic because you have to have a huge amount of perfection to be a great chef, because you have to consistently produce the same. Are we allowed to swear on your podcast?
Yep.
Same dish 100 times, 7 times a night, right? So there's this perfection that was drilled into me. Now, perfection makes a great chef, as does creativity, right? So you can have this clash of being creative but having to be perfect. It's a real tug of war. So when I came into my business with the perfectionist mindset of a chef, following how to grow business with a recipe, right? You guys can't see, but I'm doing those quotations of a recipe. We've all followed those 6-figure overnight recipes. They don't fucking work. They flop like a pavlova, which is kiwi, by the way. No. Right? We're on this chef going, the recipe's not working. What's wrong with me? I started to connect my failure or my non-business growth with that I was the problem because I wasn't good enough. Mm-hmm. So first lesson for me was I just stopped giving so much of a worry and stopped following everyone else. I had a health crisis, which caused Bell's palsy in my face. Well, that's the only place you can get it. Duh. It's like saying you wake up in the morning, like, what else do you do?
Well.
Anyway. The Bell's palsy caused me to really stop and look where I was hustling from someone else's energy, someone else's space, and literally universe, hauled me back when we look at it on a physical level. So I had to really look at how was I showing up, and when I just decided to show up as myself, because whenever any of us show up as ourselves, we have to allow and appreciate all of ourselves, our imperfections, the things we don't like about ourselves, all that stuff, right? And I remember doing live videos at the beach in the middle of winter with my beanie on, walking my dog, and I was just in my element. I loved it. And my business just started to grow. That whole, oh my gosh, she's cool. It was easy. And it was until a friend said to me, oh, you know what? You really need to stop doing those videos and do more professional ones, because you're showing parts of yourself that people are just going to be like, how can I take this person seriously? And from that comment from my friend saying you say too much and your things aren't professional enough, I fucking doubled down. I doubled down on the effect of that stuff and just blew it out the water.
I like it.
So that's what got me into my work. And then when I was helping women to grow their businesses, I realized very quickly that they were in their own way. They were trying to make it perfect. And I was like, yo, it can't work like that.
Yeah, that is the main thing. We do get in our own way. And the more I mentor people and support people and train people, the more I realize that we just get in our own way all the time. And it is all about just what's happening with the conversations in our head and nothing to do with the reality of how people are perceiving us and the impact that we could be having. But yeah, I edit videos and stuff, and I leave all my ums and my ahs in there, even though they drive me crazy because I notice them. But because, as you said, that's just how I am, and I don't want to censor that, because with recordings, that is just a recording of you talking. And imagine if you never said and ah in a recording, and then you met with someone and then you started saying them. And people would be going, you don't usually talk like that. What's going on here? And it might be a little thing, but it's those inconsistencies that, you can't hold that up.
I totally agree. And you've hit on such a good point. It's the inconsistencies. It's the constant changing of hats. Oh, I have to be this professional. I have to be this good. Whereas if you just are yourself, you have to put one hat on, right? And so I think it's funny because, when you meet people and they look nothing like their profile pic on their business, you're like, girl, walk down chalk, what have you been doing? Like, we look nothing like it, right? Because we're trying to put that a professional foot forward. And if you just are all of yourself all of the time, people talk about ease and flow and alignment. I'm like, that is what it is. When you are yourself in all layers, things just become easier because you're not spending your time splitting hairs, hey?
Yeah, that's right. And with the whole, move forward with imperfection, I know that in the virtual assistant industry, although this podcast is for all businesses, but being, predominantly living in the VA industry, there's a lot of perfectionists in there. Yeah. What sort of tips would you give them to help them kind of get out of their way with that? Because I know some of you listening are coming out in hives at the moment. And apart from calamine lotion, I want to give you some, other ideas around how to ease that action.
It's a really good question, because there's a massive difference between being great and a perfectionist. Because I get virtual assistants like, but people are paying for my perfection.
Yeah, they're paying for how you know how to do things and how to bring things to life.
So they're scared of making mistakes, right? Oh, you're paying me to proofread, or you're paying me to do the work that's not perfect, therefore I haven't done that work. And so there's a very subtle difference between perfection and greatness. We're paying for your greatness. You're still allowed to be a human. Human beings are going to make those mistakes. You forgot this dot on this I, right? Whereas if we're constantly chasing getting it perfect and right, you'll never want to grow your business because you'll be paralyzed with, what if I drop the ball and I don't see that? Well, actually, you want to make sure you're working with people who get what it's like to be a human being. You
Mm-hmm.
You can't be perfect, but you can be really, really good at what you do. So there's very subtle differences in the languaging.
Yeah, I think that's a really big one. People who are intolerant of the reality of life. I mean, when things go wrong, my team do stuff wrong, and I'll say to them that what happened there. God damn it, what did you do that for? Knowing very well that without them, I would have 5,000 times more mistakes than I currently do. Yeah. So, It's human, and yes, we want to fix them and try to limit them, but I don't want anyone in my world to feel like they can't step forward for fear of taking the wrong step. I mean, what a horrible way to live.
Yeah, I actually think the upside to COVID, I know there's a positive side, people, is that it's brought a very human level back. Do you know what I mean? Like, people have really understand now, particularly me, what it's like to work with kids at home.
Yes.
But also for just all of us, we've got to really connect on this human energy level. And I think for everyone, it's just brought, I just think it's brought a lot of understanding into imperfect action. I think people are way more tolerant. But I often would love to say to the VAs, particularly if you're starting out, you don't want to work for an asshole. You want to work with someone who really appreciates human beings and be part of a business that's about that leader moving forward and then making an impact, but wanting to take their team with you. So I'm also like, hey, it's a rehearsal for you too. Don't feel like you have to just go work with people who don't hear about those things. I think it's really important.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. The people around you, telling you that. So, like that friend of yours, for example, that was her issue. That was her. She needed to see a particular thing. Yeah, because even though she knew you, and so that's actually something that she should work through, because she's asking you not to be who you are.
Yeah, totally.
And we don't, as you said, we don't need that in business anymore. We've all done it enough that we know that thanks to being online and being, doing this stuff where it doesn't matter where you are, you can be connecting and chatting like this. And, my office at the moment's a mess, and there's a dog chewing its foot on the floor, and, all those kind of, the fact that the kids are at school for the first time in pretty much 2 years is insane.
Oh, I have so much envy right now.
I'm sorry. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, you guys have done it hard.
Yeah. So, those sorts of things, I say the same thing. It's the one benefit we've found of this situation is embracing the fact that we can do stuff without being stuffed shirts in a corporate office wearing heels and a suit. We can still get shit done. And isn't that what we were meant to do in the first place? Get shit done?
Yeah. That's powerful. Getting shit done, and sometimes shit happens, which is the other way of saying imperfect action, right? we're such tweetables right now. Get shit done. Shit happens. It's a very professional podcast, this one, everybody.
I know. It's so ironic that we're, talking about imperfection and we're just delivering this with such perfection. And, I'm not going to be showing you guys the video because we look so professional. It would just contradict.
They can't see that I've got that big painting behind me, but I've got this big painting that I painted, and it's got on it imperfect.
I'm going to use that, though. I'm going to do a screen. So do a big smile.
Oh, this one. Hi.
Gorgeous. Because I love that so much. It's beautiful. So did you paint that?
Yes. So a client of mine, she's a life coach. She's primarily a life coach, but she's actually an artist. So she takes you through creative therapy. And so I made her create this program because I wanted to do it because it's epic, where there's 25 layers and 8 sessions in that. It's huge canvas. And in the layers, she's doing life coaching and questions, and you have to take yourself through these processes. And I'm a little bit random or imperfect now. And so when we in the class, we did it in live class, we had to swap paintings, and I had a perfectionist next to me, and she literally nearly lost her shit. She was like, I can't give it to you, Nat. She was trying to tell me what to do. And so the life coach, it was great because she had to process handing over to me I spray painted on mine. She was shitting her pants. Because she'd done lovely things. And I'm like, yeah, you bring it to me. It was such a fun process.
For you.
Well, so I had to learn to not water down. I had to not go and change who I wanted to be on that canvas for her. So it was so reflective. It was so interesting.
That sounds amazing. I love that. Yeah.
So I have another one. Oh, you can't see it. It's actually behind the computer, it's another one. It's really different again. But yeah, that's what it is. There's a lot of love and giggles and tears in that.
Aww.
Yeah.
I like that you said you didn't have to water yourself down, like not water yourself down, but water down yourself. Yeah. So, yeah, I wonder how many people out there would have, you know, the guts to take a day or two, set a day aside where they didn't water down who they are and they showed up as their true selves, to see sort of how that kind of turns out for them. Because I'm apart from, unless they're a serial killer in disguise, in which case please do it so we can find out, you know, I reckon there'd be diddly squat chance of them having people say, no, I don't like this. More people will be going, how cool is that? Every time I see someone in business who just creates something that is genuine and is just who they are, and you can see that, I love it. I love it. Even if they're considered my competition, I just go, oh, that was cool. Good job, you know, because it's just, it means it allows us to enjoy work more, I think, as well.
I love that. And what it just brought up for me was the story of, it's very cliche, this story, so I pre-warn everyone. But I don't know if you've ever heard of the saying that, you know, oh shit, I can't remember how the saying goes, so I'm going to ad-lib it. But it's about a flower's job, and amongst a field of flowers is to be a flower, right? And a flower doesn't wake up in the morning. A flower doesn't wake up. You get what I mean? Doesn't in the morning look to its neighbors and go, oh, fuck, you're a better flower than I am today. I'm not going to show up. It shows up, man, and it blooms. And that's the whole point. And you have something to say. Like a field of flowers, every flower is individual in its own way. And like a group of violinists, someone's intonation of that music is going to stand out. So like you said, Rosie, take some time to go, what do I want to say today? And your intonation, your way of showing up with it is going to blow some away, because they're going to go, oh, that's exactly what I was thinking. So I often say to people, I don't know if anyone else does this, but often I'm like, oh, that would make a good Facebook post. Oh, that would make a great Instagram story. I feel like I'm a walking status update. But that actually helped me go, what do I want to say? Go say what you think, and you can actually experience that whole repel and attraction marketing, which is marketing's job. If someone doesn't like what you say and think about something, well, they're not the people to work with, right? So, yeah, you know, that's my flower blooming, stuffed up, imperfect analogy.
I know exactly which graphic you're talking about, and the quote. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure other people do too, and I'm going to help them because I'm going to include it as well. So, yeah, if I remember. But if I don't, imperfect. Oh well.
Yeah. My VAs, I'm like, I know that they'll be like, dude, I'm majorly stuffed up. I'm like, you know, I'm the queen of imperfect action. Like, I literally don't care that you did that, just because I know you won't do it next time, because you'll be like, oh, I stuffed up. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is just being able to see things clearly, and not be afraid, because if you can see things clearly and openly, you can see where things fall through the cracks, because they're going to fall down. Yeah. And then it's about, okay, so how do we move forward with it? How do we fix that so it doesn't happen again? Rather than worrying and holding everything together in this fear that something might happen.
Yeah, I love that. I just wanted to touch on imposter actually for a minute, from when you first said it at the beginning. And it's funny, I had a conversation with a client this morning, and we were laughing about it because she caught herself saying it. And she's like, oh, yeah, I just have to finish that course on learning how to, because imposter can show up with, you need to learn more because you don't know enough yet. And so it's just a beautiful lesson, isn't it? And particularly for VAs, when you feel like you have to know all the things, dude, good luck to you, because it's a fast-moving industry of learning all the new tech coming out, where it's just that reminder that go be that expert in your spaces and stay in your lane, and don't try and do and be everything, because some of you will have that type of imposter and how it shows up, which is, oh, you need to get qualified in that. Oh, you need to get the badge in that, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So what about people who, you know, I know people like this, and I know you do, who you go, yep, you know your stuff. You know it, but you're holding yourself back and you're saying that stuff to yourself. And I'm telling you not to say that stuff to the, yourself. What can they do? What actual steps can they take to try to step beyond that and to, put that, because there is a fear element there.
It is. Yeah, you're so right. So it is. It's fear in its comfort zone. So when you know what it is, and then it's normal to feel like there's, I call it a business waltz, like you know you can do it, but you have the voice that tells you can't really do it. When you have that knowledge and you know that it's because you're at the edge of your comfort zone, there's a certain amount of discipline and toleration that has to happen now. And Bob Proctor, who's a mindset dude, so that's professional, he talks about being ignorant, which means when you know that you are an expert and you're being a dick, you're choosing ignorance, which means it will start to physically show up in your body as well. So you'll have your fear will turn to worry, your worry will turn to anxiety. Right? So we go from thoughts, feelings to physical manifestation. When you know that's happening, girlfriend, you have the choice now to stop tolerating that from yourself and the discipline to choose a better thought, choose a better way, right? And it's like a new muscle. So when you go to the gym and you try some new workout with weights, it feels awkward. You can't do it properly because you're freaking inflexible from sitting all day. It hurts the next day and you feel like a dick, right? But you keep going back because you're choosing to go and move forward. And each day gets a little bit easier and you start lifting more. You have more flexibility. It's the same with mindset and the discipline, because you can sit and shit. Now, Nat has now said I'm ignorant because I know better. Yeah, so what are you going to do about it? So what it means is, when someone gives you a compliment, it is your job to acknowledge it and step into it. Because I don't know about you, but there's nothing worse than having friends who are martyrs. You know, you have that beautiful friend and they're like, oh no, I'm just so ugly. And you're like, listen, I'm over you. You just need to embrace your freaking sexy beautiness, okay? Because I'm just like, ah. So it's the same toleration for your clients. Like imagine if I walked around with my clients saying, oh, I'm not that good. Thank you for saying that. It's actually annoying. What the fuck, dude? So you have to step into your compliments. You have to go, yeah, okay, what would it look like if I believe that? How would I show up if I actually believe that? So that's one way, is actually like stop freaking tolerating it, man. This is where journaling and affirmations help. And when you do receive a compliment, thank you. And then stopping that dialogue.
And put it on like a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say like a Netflix series too. You know how like someone will go, you did an amazing job, Rosie, and your brain won't, but your brain might go, oh, well, I could have done this and this better. And you let the whole Netflix series play out. It's like, no, man, just push pause. Don't watch the series. What do you want to have? What thoughts are better for you? So when we have a better thought, we have a better feeling, we go take a very different action. So it's about being responsible and responsive.
I find I have a visual that comes to mind when you're talking about that, because if I insult someone or if you get insulted, you just go, oh my God, that must be so true, right? And you jump into it like you're jumping into a pool, and you're just like, woohoo, I'm going to take that on. When someone compliments you, you just stand there going, oh, no. What we need to do is reverse that completely. Yes. Jump into the compliment pool, nudie run, whatever, get in there. Whereas when people usually when someone's saying something that is, not nice, usually it's because of something that's going on with them. You don't have to jump in the pool for that. Just push them in. No, don't do that actually, because that would be
uncomfortable. Would be naked. I reckon do that.
You're running around naked around the confidence pool. No one's going to put you down. They'll be scared of you because they'll be like, you've just got too much power.
I love it though. You're so right. We certainly jump in and can't wait to tell someone, oh, so this is what someone thinks, but it's the opposite. Do you think it's a Kiwi and Aussie thing? It's a tall poppy thing? Because I know the Americans might be like, I'm the shit, y'all. They don't try it, but you get what I mean.
They do. I love it.
I'm amazing. My 9-year-old, I showed her a picture from Halloween 2 years ago, and she's like, oh my gosh, Mama, I'm so cute in that photo. I'm so beautiful. I'm like, girl, you give me some of what I've given you. I just love that the children are like, I'm like the cutest kid around. Okay.
I love that.
Right? I'm just like, yeah, can we have some of that?
Yeah. Where we need more adults doing that, because my kids do that too. It's the youngest is at the point at the moment. She's just about to turn 7. And she'll be like, I look so cute in this. I look so cute. And I'll be like, you do, babe. You totally do. And I was actually saying to them the other day, because one of them was like, don't watch me while I get changed. And I'm like, dude, I've seen it. And plus that body, everyone's bodies here is perfect. It is the best vessel from getting you from here to here. And you're lucky it's just rocking. And my husband yells out, that goes for you too. And I'm like,
he's awesome. What a beautiful mum you are. That's such that's beautiful things to be telling your kids.
Oh, you've got to. I said to mine the other day, the older one, I said, I used to have, you go to the swimming pool change rooms. I was the one kind of trying to get changed, covered up. I don't even know why. Like, there's nothing at home saying you have to do this. It's just how I was. And she's starting to do that. And I said to her, it is so exhausting. The best thing you two gave to me was the ability to just go, this is it. And that's why I can walk around the house the way I do, and my body has got more bumps than it had before you were born. But I feel like I can, because this is the vessel I have, and it's achieving really cool things. And you don't sit there, pointing at me going, oh, how horrible do you look? It's just like, nobody else is going to do that to you. It's just not how we're programmed. So
I love that. It's so right.
Yeah, it's a horrible place to be, to feel like you've got to hide.
Yes.
I said, don't run around the streets naked or anything like that, but don't feel like you have to hide.
I love that. I love that you're sharing it. I think we are raising a generation of body confident girls in particular, just because I've got girls. I think you've got girls, eh?
Yeah, 2 girls. Yep.
Same. So I'm proud of us, because I know that I wasn't brought up body confident. It was more like, oh, you probably should be more like this, or you probably need to do this to look like that. So there's been a hell of a bit of a perfection for me around that, and I just didn't want that for my girls. So yeah, everything's spoken about in a really, just like you said, just that loving way of you are perfect.
Yeah, like, you're the only version of you that there is, like, and it doesn't get more better than that. And it's funny, because with the whole imperfect thing and the imposter syndrome, one of the biggest blocks people have is doing what we're doing now, which is going out and speaking, because they're like, oh, well, if I was using the video footage for this, which I'm not using it for the podcast, but I might grab snippets of it, because I think there's some good content in here. They go, oh, well, I'm not pretty enough.
Yes.
People, no makeup on, okay?
Right, with no makeup on.
Natalie looks amazing. She's done her hair.
I'm filtered.
Oh, pretty sure there's a filter on here. No. Yeah, but I think just show up, and one of the things I always do, every photo that you see, a selfie that you see of me, is the first shot I took, and no filter. Yes, every time, because I realised after a bit that I was doing the thing where trying to get the right shot, and then I'd apply, I do a mild filter. I can't stand it when my friends use those really glossy filters, because I'm like, dude, you are so gorgeous and now you look weird. I always first shot and no filter, because I want to empower other people to just be the face that you are.
I love that, Rosie, because I'm the 20th shot with all the filters, so I'm like going to step into that challenge. I'm not that extreme, but I will chuck a filter on.
Yeah.
But not all the time, but usually the first shot I'll be like, nah. But I love that. I'm going to step into that challenge, so I hope everyone else is going to. I think that's cool.
Yeah, do it, because I remember someone saying that about, it was a couple of years ago someone said that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was the same. I need to just do that. I need to just get over it and do that. Yeah. So
Go on.
excellent. Well, I think we've touched on some pretty cool stuff here today, and I want to thank you so much for your time and your insights. Where do people go to find out more? And you know what, if you're listening to this, I'm going to put a link in as well to Natalie's book, because Natalie's book is the bomb. Where do they go, Natalie, to find out more about you?
So you're going to have to go and make sure you read the show notes, or what it is, because it's natalietolhopf.com. And that's a pain in the ass to spell. So, just start typing it in Google, and I hope that I come up. But either come to my website, follow me on Insta or Facebook. And I have a really cool group, and it's called Alleged Perfect. We hang out. Yeah, and it's about taking imperfect action and helping you sell with confidence. So there's lots of places to find me, but yeah, website's usually the best one.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Yay. Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thank you for listening to the Virtually Yours podcast, Outsourcing Mysteries Exposed. Between now and our next session, I know you're going to be hanging out to take some action on outsourcing in your business, so head on over to virtuallyyours.com.au and you can download some information there about the best ways to outsource for business growth. If you're a virtual assistant, make sure you join us. We have an amazing virtual assistant community at Virtually Yours, Aussie VAs connecting and helping each other grow. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you at the next podcast.